Brought to you by...
Have you ever looked in the mirror, possibly longer than average, and thought you might have seen something strange reflected back? A distortion in your own face, or maybe something move in the background beyond your line of focus? Do you believe in the possibility that there may be more than just your reflection? That there may be something more ominous just out of eyeshot? Hello friends, welcome back to ETF. Today we are peering through the laser glass and witnessing what terrors lie reflected within the blackened frame of the Oculus. 10 years ago, tragedy struck the Russell family, leaving the lives of teenage siblings Tim and Kaylee forever changed when Tim was convicted of the brutal murder of their parents. Now in his 20s, Tim is newly released from protective custody and only wants to move on with his life. But Kaylee, still haunted by that fateful night, is convinced her parents' death were caused by something else altogether. A malevolent supernatural force unleashed through the laser glass, an antique mirror in their childhood home. Determined to prove Tim's innocence, Kaylee tracks down the mirror, only to learn similar deaths have befallen previous owners over the past century. With the mysterious entity now back in their hands, Tim and Kaylee soon find their hold on reality shattered by terrifying hallucinations, and realize too late that their childhood nightmare is beginning all over again. In this film, we witness unique concepts brought to the forefront, taking us into places that horror normally doesn't go to such extremes. We are dealing with the ideas of distorting reality, manipulated time, hallucinations, and areas of effect. Somewhat more science fiction concepts that bleed well into the fabric of fear. This is another film written and directed by Mike Flanagan, who has become a powerhouse in the world of mainstream horror in recent years, delivering terrifying and usually complex new visions to the industry to maximum effect. This is a film that isn't afraid to exist in both the intellectual and terrifying spectrums of horror. Every detail of its construction is well thought out and engineered with the utmost precision to deliver the most maximum impact within the narrative. It takes the time to build a rich history of its haunted mirror, stretching as far back as the 1700s, taking the time to immerse its audience in the past atrocities left in the wake of this thing's presence. Though much of this backstory is delivered in an excessive information dump at the tail end of the first act, when combined with the rising tension between our two siblings' beliefs, it builds towards a moment that flips the rules of the game and, consequently, everything we knew up until this point. At this moment, we are placed into a state where we can trust nothing that we are witnessing at any moment from then on. If you've seen this film, you know exactly what moment I'm referring to. For me, this was a moment that encapsulated the very core of this story, and it was at this moment that I knew that I loved this movie. I love that Flanagan wasn't afraid to completely distort the way we view movies and make us distrust the things that we are presented. He wasn't trying to toe a line and give us visuals that could be interpreted in multiple ways. Instead, he shows us one thing, then turns around and says, "Ah, but I lied. Here is what's actually happened." Film in itself is often a lie, a farce, a fiction. Why not play with those lies to deliver bigger roller coaster experiences? To make things more confusing, Flanagan chooses to tell this story through dueling timelines, one set in the past when Tim and Kaylee were children, and the present day as adults. He tells these two perspectives simultaneously, cutting back and forth, using the house's layout to transition between the incidents. The longer the story goes on, the more the divides between these times begin to blur, bringing these events closer and closer together as the severity of Tim and Kaylee's situation ramps up. The beauty of this comes to a head using match editing, as we draw closer to the film's climax and the effects of the lasso glass grow, bringing these separate timelines together so that both events seem to be merging into one time and place. Like I said, the ideas behind this film are big ones, and it takes chances to deliver us something truly unique. The performances throughout the film are honestly off the charts. The relationship dynamic created between Tim and Kaylee by actors Karen Gillan and Brenton Thwaites is incredibly layered in years of compounding love, regret, remorse, and resentment. They play the banter and bickering of siblings so well. It's genuinely believable. We also get a really strong performance from the amazing Katie Sackhoff as their mother, who portrays the slow descent into increasing madness beautifully, breaking down both physically and emotionally over the course of the film. Without getting into any further details at risk of spoiling too much, I have to say that this is an incredibly entertaining film experience that builds a uniquely structured narrative, with a deeply woven plot and characters far further developed than most other genre films being made these days. I'm giving Oculus an A+. Guys, if you have a chance to check this one out and you haven't already, I would absolutely urge you to do so. If you've already seen it, I urge you to watch it again. This is a film that you will definitely notice more details hidden throughout on further viewings. It's definitely worth your time. This episode of ETF is brought to you by NordVPN. With more than 10 years of experience, NordVPN is one of the world's largest VPN providers. Cybersecurity may seem very complex, but NordVPN makes it as easy as it gets. Cutting-edge technologies shield your internet activity from hackers and malware, protect you on public Wi-Fi networks, and even block annoying ads. NordVPN protects your IP address and makes sure that no one else can see which websites you visit and what files you download. And until the end of April, if you sign up using the links down in the description, you can get a whopping 70% off a 3-year plan. Real internet privacy is just a click away with NordVPN. But that's all for today, friends. If you are enjoying the content so far and want to help us keep bringing new types of videos for you to enjoy, please consider supporting ETF on Patreon, where every pledge goes right back into the channel to help us with upgrading equipment, maintaining our software, and checking out new flicks to discuss here. If you want to see more videos like these, feel free to let us know down below, or give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you all next time. Thanks for watching.